Hi, welcome to my life. This is Kismet the feral grandma with Dyson the tiny chihuahua. And it is a Monday and I did not go to my class. A little mosquito or something buzzing around. I can live without mosquitoes. Much like across the course of the weekend, I'm still dealing with something that hurts. After decades of eating all the wrong stuff, I got kidney stones. But I'm drinking water and the water is moving through, so I'm not totally blocked. And any sign of that and I will wind up in an emergency room, because you can't play around with that. And I have ibuprofen if I need to take the inflammation down a bit. And I am still eating a non-inflammatory diet. Carnivore. I've got that one little blueberry on the one plant. It's definitely blue, but it's still very pale, and I'm hoping it gets dark before the birds or something else discovers it. And there's all the other ones on the other plant in clusters have reds and golds and greens. They're not blue either. A few went blue last week. I already ate those. They're fresh, they're in season, and they're mine. That's not carnivore. Well, I didn't have coffee on those days. I've been doing a lot of not having coffee. It's like, why bother? If I'm not having it with cream and sugar and maybe a little caramel syrup and some whipped topping and caramel drizzle on top. You know, I like a fancy coffee. I don't have to have it. And even with just cream, it sometimes just does not sit right. You know, it'll make me feel a little weird. Now, younger grandson has helped sort something out. Apparently, coriander oil has been a part of the flavoring in colas since forever. As long as there have been colas, there has been coriander oil in it. All those other things that I like that go into a cola are probably not an issue. Coriander is an issue, because coriander is the same plant that we also chop up the fresh greens of and call it cilantro. So I don't need that in my life. Like, yeah, let's just keep that tiny bit of allergic inflammation going all the time. And there's a lot of experts and politicians and lobbyists who want us to feel like it doesn't matter if we decide to have a Coke. Well, it matters if I decide to, because I'm allergic. Some people are allergic to the food coloring that gives it this rich, dark, caramelly brown, kind of a translucent black. Who cares? One of the nieces has a boy who can't have it. And she'll give him Sprite instead. Not that it's much better, but if all the kids are getting soda, he wants soda too, you know? I hope at some point that people who have allergies and sensitivities realize there's no rule, there's no law that you have to ingest these things. You wouldn't recommend somebody with a peanut allergy to try the peanut butter sandwich, right? Because you don't want to wind up getting a lawsuit on your hands because the parents are not happy that you gave their kid a peanut butter sandwich. If you like peanut butter, good for you. It's not something I need to shove in my face. And it's not something that anyone who's allergic to it needs to shove in their face. The carbs are high, the lectins are high. Calm down, puppy. You should sit. You just sit. Calm down. The daughter put a jug of water with gigantic tea bag in it for sun tea. And the Louisiana bags make better tea than any of the large ones. I didn't see what the brand was on this, but it's a gigantic bag, and you just use one of them. Do you need to pee again? Do you need to go down? The dog straight across from us is in kind of a good mood. People have been outside with him today. He's been just wandering back and forth and wagging. He has been handled and he has been visited. Dogs need to be together with somebody. It just makes their day better. They're a pack animal. People forget that all the time. There's no pack here. There would be if him and a few others got loose. That's going to be one of the problems people will have. When dogs are loose, they pack up and they wander around with each other. And they wind up eating other dogs too. Not meeting, eating. This is often seen with coyotes and wolves. You sweet puppies. I finished my gigantic thick book that I was working on yesterday. The Giver Quartet by Lois Lowry. Lowry, something like that. up, puppy. His nose is going and going and going. Do you need down? Yeah. I'm not just talking to the thing in my hand, I'm talking to you. Do you need to go somewhere before we go in? We're out here. There's the ground. You can do what you need to do. Trying to keep the mosquitoes off me now that it's evening hours. But it is a beautiful, beautiful day. And the day is getting over with. And that's fine. Oh, I finally completed what I was trying to do last week. I got my IBO with Cerule. I'm very fond of their products. Between the grounding mat on the bed, which is not a Cerule product, and the plasma flow I take, I'm pretty sure I'll be in good shape for my vascular system. And I also use the Stem Enhance Ultra, their main product. I mean, that's the one they started with. And I can't prove that it's done anything for me, but nobody can prove it hasn't. But I feel better. And I've quite often had the mosquito bite here and there, or scrape, or a little cut, or whatever, and had it heal like it's supposed to, instead of having it take forever, or be toting super glue around with me forever while I try to get something to heal. And I don't have new outbreaks of eczema around my ankles. Just have a couple of really old ones. And even those are slowly fading away. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Anyone with eczema can tell you how slow healing can go. But I still have this place. I don't know, where's that? There's a little line over here in between the creases. And that's where I got myself with a steak knife one day while I was cutting the plastic band off of something. And that's not far from another place where I'd done a similar damage years ago. I still have the scar to that one. That's okay. But every now and then, something will slip, or I'll be holding it wrong, and I'll wind up with a cut. Sometimes it's real small, but this time it healed up pretty quick, and that was amazing. I don't usually have a cut heal up that fast. Go on. Do you want to go down there? Go down on the ground. Do what you need to do and then we'll go in. He sniffs at the grass, sniffs at the tires. It's just doggy time. Yeah, it's doggy time. A friend recently posted a picture of his big old dog, Rusty, on Facebook. And said that Rusty thinks he's a lap dog. I'm like, all dogs are lap dogs. I thought you knew. I've only met really one that was not. And he was well trained and he was retired. He did not chase kitty cats. He did not take food from the children. I babysat at his house occasionally. Really good dog. Except for the part where he would, steal whatever the best vegetable was that Rini wanted to use for something. She'd have something special in mind. And this retired old police dog would just help himself. They didn't have the heart to tell him he couldn't have this squash or that cucumber or whatever. He worked hard most of his life. And his handler was gone. And that's usually the end of it for a dog. But he had loved his dog. So he taught his sister and brother-in-law, mosquitoes again, to be handlers. I don't know, he had some kind of qualification they did. I don't know. I'm not sure. But basically they were allowed to keep him. That was an awesome dog. Yeah. It's getting where I can see the mosquitoes on camera. I think it's time to go in. I think the doggy is ready to go in. He came up and instead of sitting next to me, he walked behind me over to the door. So it is time to go in. The light's not quite gone from the sky. And I have at least 1 or 2 new mosquito bites. Y'all be good. Read something. Especially if you know someone somewhere wants you not to. If they got rid of it at your high school library, go find it on Amazon. If you were waiting for your turn with a book in 7th grade and the last kid who got to read it was a kid before you, and then they took it out of the library, go find it. Read Ender's Game. Read things that's above your grade level. Stretch yourself a little bit. Recommend something good to somebody. Eat something delicious. Hopefully low inflammation. Enjoy a pretty evening. And take care of each other. Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Alright, bye-bye.